Right now, as you watch this video, if you're worried about money, your brain is literally being rewired. Stress hormones are flooding your neural pathways. Your decision-making centers are shutting down. And here's the terrifying part, this isn't just temporary. Financial stress doesn't just make you feel bad. It fundamentally changes how your brain works, often permanently. Let's start with what happens in the first few seconds when financial stress hits. Your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, detects the threat. But here's what's fascinating, your brain can't tell the difference between a charging lion and an overdue credit card bill. The same ancient survival system that kept our ancestors alive now triggers when we see our bank balance. Within milliseconds, your hypothalamus releases a cascade of stress hormones. Cortisol floods your system. But cortisol isn't just a stress hormone, it's a brain modifier. Studies show that chronic financial stress can increase cortisol levels by up to 400%. That's like having your brain constantly bathed in a chemical that literally shrinks the areas responsible for memory and decision-making. Here's where it gets really disturbing. Princeton University researchers found that financial stress reduces cognitive capacity by the equivalent of 13 IQ points. That's the same impact as losing a full night's sleep, but it's happening every single day. Your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain, literally goes offline when money stress hits. But there's something even more sinister happening at the neurotransmitter level. Financial stress doesn't just increase cortisol, it hijacks your dopamine system. Dopamine is supposed to reward good decisions and motivate positive behavior. But when you're financially stressed, your brain starts craving quick fixes and immediate rewards. This is why people make terrible financial decisions when they're already in financial trouble. Ancient wisdom traditions understood this connection long before we had brain scanners. Buddhist teachings warn about the mental suffering caused by attachment to material possessions. The Bible speaks of money as a root of evil that corrupts the mind. Islamic finance principles specifically address how debt and financial uncertainty disturb mental peace. These weren't just moral guidelines, they were protecting brain health. The historical evidence is equally compelling. During the Great Depression, rates of mental illness skyrocketed. But it wasn't just the poverty itself, it was the chronic uncertainty. Researchers studying Holocaust survivors found that those who experienced financial uncertainty showed lasting changes in brain structure, changes that were even passed down to their children through epigenetic modifications. Modern neuroscience reveals exactly how this happens. Chronic financial stress triggers neuroinflammation, your brain's immune system goes into overdrive. This inflammation damages the hippocampus, shrinking it by up to 25% in severe cases. The hippocampus is crucial for forming new memories and learning from experience. This is why people in financial crisis often repeat the same destructive patterns. The social psychology adds another layer of brain damage. Financial stress triggers shame, and shame activates the same brain regions as physical pain. But it also damages the anterior cingulate cortex, which is responsible for empathy and social connection. This is why financial stress often destroys relationships and creates social isolation, which then feeds back into more stress and more brain damage. But here's the remarkable thing about the human brain, it's not helpless. Neuroplasticity means your brain can literally rewire itself throughout your entire life. Studies of people who've overcome financial stress show that the brain can recover. Meditation practices from ancient traditions actually strengthen the prefrontal cortex. Financial education literally builds new neural pathways. Support systems activate the release of oxytocin, which counters cortisol's damaging effects. The most powerful finding is this: simply understanding what financial stress does to your brain reduces its impact. Knowledge activates your prefrontal cortex and gives you back some control. When you recognize that your brain is hijacked by ancient survival mechanisms that aren't designed for modern money problems, you can start to work with your brain instead of against it. Your financial stress isn't a character flaw, it's a predictable neurochemical response that you can learn to manage.